everyone, welcome to this week's weekly market view for Monday, the 23rd of October to Friday, the 27th of October 2023. My name is Vishal. Let's get started. All right, so let's start with the monthly chart like we always do, and let's move on to the monthly chart of the Nifty first. So let's open the chart and see what the market is doing. So currently the market is trading at 19,476. So slightly negative from the day's opening today, and just been consolidating in this very, very tight range on the monthly chart. So nothing clear from the monthly chart yet, but just consolidation. If we move on to the weekly chart, if we look at the weekly chart, we are seeing a little bit of corrective move again to the downside, and it's more or less what's happening, on the global front with respect to, the war news, etc. Most likely, it will be interesting to see if this weekly level of demand continues to hold till any further update. So this is going to be that level of demand. There is no level of supply, but we can argue a bit here that this could be a pivot, and within this area, there could be a potential level of supply. Let's move on to the daily chart. And if we move on to the daily chart, today the markets did open at 19,521.60. So slightly gap down. We were expecting a very, very big gap down based on what the SGX Nifty was suggesting, but we did not have that big of a gap down this morning. We are still holding on to this daily level. And if you look at this daily level over here, 19,376 to 19,230. And within this area now, there are a couple of levels of demand, which might likely be tested in case if the Nifty tends to come back into this zone over here. So unless and until 19,230 breaks to the downside, there may not be a lot of bearishness in the market. But if there is a closing below this 19,230 odd level, then we might see the Nifty going down further and maybe coming towards this level to most likely to test this level of demand here. Okay, but that's a little far away now from current market price. Let's move on to the intraday charts now to see what's happening. So on the intraday charts, last week, this level of demand did hold. And today, after the markets basing into this level eventually broke to the downside. Okay, so now there is going to be an obstruction, which is going to be slightly closer to the current market price, which is going to be this area. And now, unless and until this area breaks to the upside, there is not going to be any, buying pressure seen. We might see consolidation to a slightly more bearish pressure on the overall index. If you look at the 75-minute zone here, this is the zone from where the prices bounced last time around. So there is a possibility that the markets will come back to retest this area again. So any close below 304 will induce more bearishness in the market. But other than that, we might just tend to see the markets consolidating between 19,530 to 19,350. If we slightly go to the 10 minutes chart, so in the morning I was just trying to analyze to see, and so let's go to the 10 minutes chart. So in case if there is some selling pressure that that creeps in, let's say today, and today, tomorrow being the Sierra holiday, we are having two expiries today, which is the mid-cap Nifty and the Fin Nifty. And on Thursday, we are going to be having two expiries, which are going to be Bank Nifty and Fin Nifty, right? So in between, we have one holiday, which might either spoil the party for a lot of traders, or might also give a lot of positivity as well. Okay, so if you look at this area over here, this is that level that I want to plot here, which is this rally-based rally. Now price has touched the level and nearly moved and made a new high. So whenever this happens, there is also a possibility that the markets in extreme bearishness will try to come to test these origin of the move levels. And this is pretty much the origin of the move. In fact, this one and this one, right? So these are the origins. And just keep in mind that although these levels are origin of this move, they are still reaction to this original level over here. So this is not a fresh level. This is more or less a tested level, right? So even if we do get a bounce, we might tend to get a bounce, which might lead to markets moving up, and again reacting to a supply zone might create shorting opportunities on the market. All right. So there is no yet signs of bullishness. Markets are still looking a little bleak as of now. So just be careful on longs. And even if there is any kind of short covering that comes in, just use that short covering to identify good supply zones to go short on this market towards 394, 332 odd levels. Okay, so just keep this level in mind. On the intraday front, on the short side, let us see if we have any key levels here. So no great levels here. This was just what happened in the morning. Yes, it could lead to some kind of a selling pressure. So maybe we need to just go a little bit below this area over here to see if there is any supply zone. So let's go to a smaller time frame chart. Let's go to a 1 minute chart and let's check to see if there is any supply zone there. So on the 1 minute chart, we do see this level of supply. Now this is not a level that you would want to lean against overnight. So if prices do come there's some time during the day today, maybe there can be a shorting opportunity once again on the indices. 19,507 to 19,515 would be the level to watch out for. Okay. And we do have a gap level over here. So I just want to point out that gap level. That could be your potential target. So let's go to the 5 minute chart once again. So this gap level that you see over here can be used as the target on the short. And the lower levels can be potentially indicating market turning points. Okay, so 19,450, 19,428 is also a level to watch out for. All right, so now that we are done with the Nifty, let's go on to the Bank Nifty. Let's see what's happening on the Bank Nifty. Let's wait for the charts to load. So the Bank Nifty also, after making a sharp move in the morning, like the Nifty to the downside, has just been consolidating as of now. No clear signs yet, but again, things because of whatever is happening on the war front is not looking great. So we got to be a little careful. So let me just remove all the markings here and let's make the markings from scratch. So yes, on the monthly chart, we are seeing Bank Nifty slightly more bearish than the Nifty, and you can see that over here also after creating this rally base drop, this test, it's potentially trying to show that it wants to push further to the downside, but it's too early to say that. Let's see if we are getting any signs on the weekly chart. So on the weekly chart, again, very, very similar to the Nifty, we are a little more deeper into this tested level. And unless and until this 43,325 breaks to the downside, I don't see a very strong bearish momentum coming on the Bank Nifty yet. If you look at the daily chart, there are no clear levels, but there is definitely this gap level over here, which we have been pointing out since quite a few days. And this is that level I've been talking about, which is currently far away from current market price. But as I said that, because of any bearish news on the market, there could be some heavy duty selling coming in. And although markets just seem to be consolidating here, the range might just widen. We can see very clearly here that prices have respected this level of supply And within this area, they have just been consolidating without giving much to the market to even bounce, right? So there could be a new supply zone created here, like a drop-based drop, and this could be the area from where the prices could potentially turn to the upside. So just keep this level on the radar. And all right, let's move on to the next index, that is financial services. And more or less that chart is also likely to look very, very similar to the bank nifty, but we'll still analyze it from scratch. So let's remove all the tools. Okay, so the Fin Nifty, I'm sorry, this is the Nifty monthly chart. Let me add the Fin Nifty here. I was looking at the Fin Nifty. Just making sure that we look at the correct symbol. All right, there we go. We have the Nifty Financial Services monthly chart right in front of us. We are trading right now within this level of demand here. So let me just mark it here first. So this is that level of demand, rally-based rally. The markets have just been consolidating over here since quite some time now. Let's go on to the weekly chart. And let's see what do we see on the weekly chart here. Okay, so on the weekly chart, again, very, very similar to the bank nifty. Prices are just holding on to this level of demand, and any break of this level will push the markets further down. The next level of demand is this origin of the move here. So this is the level to watch out for, drop, base, rally in price. But that is quite far away from current market price right now. Let's move on to the daily chart. And if you look at the daily chart, for 2 days, we have a little bit of consolidation with positive candles. Today, we saw, or we are seeing a rather red candle. And of course, the markets are still open. So this candle can easily turn into a green candle at the end of the day, or could turn into a bearish candle at the end of the day. The key levels to watch out for, just like how you have the levels on the bank nifty, we have these key levels to watch out for. These are the gaps that we see on the chart here, 19,285, 19,217. And this is going to be another key level to watch out for. So very, very close levels. But if prices do come here, then we might expect to see a bounce on the Fin Nifty. All right, the next market that we are going to be having a look at is going to be the USD INR. So let's go to the currency markets, and that's going to be giving us some signal on what the Nifty is most likely to do. So let's look at the USD INR quickly. Let's wait for the... Okay, so here we have the USD INR chart, and you can clearly see here it's trying to give a breakout to the upside, which is not really a great sign for the indices, right? Our level of demand on USD INR is right here. This is looking more like a flag pattern, but let's see whether the markets are able to give a push to the to the upside here. And let's see. Let's move on to the weekly chart. Let's see what do we see on the weekly chart. So on the weekly chart, again, a lot of consolidation. As I said last week as well, important for the market to close above all these highs. Right now, every time the market comes here, it's failing to close above the high. And for nearly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks now, market is just struggling here, right? So any close above this will indicate more bearishness in the market on the indices. But if the market doesn't close above and consolidates and begins to move down, then we might see a little bit of, corrective moves to the upside on the indices as well. And here you can clearly see on the daily chart, nothing great here. We have a new supply zone, which is this gap level here. So markets will try to fill this gap eventually. And this is your level of demand, right? So this is what, so not much has happened on the USD INR, to be honest. Let's move on to the India VIX here. Let's see what the India VIX is telling us. Okay, so India VIX is trading close to around 10.2%. It's quite low to say so, but any rise in the VIX is not going to be a good sign. So option traders have to be a little careful right now in terms of looking at selling options, because this is not a great environment to do that. So just be careful. We have zones created over here on the so these are the zones to watch out for. 11.69 to 11.83, and more or less markets might try to cool down a little bit once they hit these levels. But we don't know whether the VIX is going to spike into 11.69 or 11.83. This is something to watch out for in the coming week. All right, let's start with the auto sector. And if you look at the auto sector here, this sector is making an all-time high. If you look at the weekly chart, on the weekly chart, we have this rally-based rally level of demand, slight corrective move, but nothing much yet, maybe a pullback. If we go on to the daily chart, the daily chart is clearly indicating that probably there is a expected rotation after the markets have been going that higher. So what we will have to wait and see is we'll have to wait and see for a retracement or for a pullback into these areas here. And we'll also have to try and find which stocks are making these moves as well. Okay. So if I go slightly to the 75-minute chart, and here you can clearly see that there are a lot of gaps over here. So this is one level to watch out for. So if the prices do come to fill this gap level, it'll be interesting to see which stocks are also trying to come and fill this gap level over here. Okay, so that's going to be very, very interesting to see how and when that happens. Okay, so let's quickly go here, and the chart on the radar is going to be Tata Motors. So let's quickly have a look at Tata Motors, and let us try and analyze that with respect to a buying opportunity. So let me load the Tata Motors chart. Okay. So taking into consideration that demand zone on the auto sector, we could possibly look at Tata Motors 125-minute chart itself. So let me just load the 125-minute chart here. Come on. So since earnings are going to be announced on Tata Motors within the next 10 days, it will be good to see some good levels of demand for a possible pullback. We do see one level over here, and then just below that, there is another level here. So these are going to be key levels. And for some reason, if the market does come strongly to these levels, these can be good opportunities to go long on Tata Motors with the continuation of the trend to the upside. Of course, at the end, we also have to be aligned with the broader markets, which means we need a little bit of the sector support as well as the Nifty support as well. All right. So this was the analysis for this week. I hope you enjoyed the analysis, and do give your valuable comments in the section in the subscription channel. And if you do like our channel, do hit the subscription button and become a part of the Sharekhan Education channel to receive more updates. Take care, everyone. Wishing you and your families a very happy Dasera. Safe trading this week. See you all next week. Bye-bye.
This should not be treated as a recommendation. Please conduct your own analysis or consult a financial advisor before investing.